Today on our 2018 Jeep JL Wrangler Unlimited, you're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the Roadmaster Diode 7 to 6 wire flexicoil wiring kit, part number RM-15267. This is what our diode kit looks like when it's installed. It's going to be one of 5 main components on a flat toe setup. The other 4 are going to be your base plate, your tow bar, your safety cables, and your braking system. What the diode kit is going to allow you to do is going to allow you to utilize the lights on your Jeep while it's being flat towed. How it does that is you're going to get a flexicoil in your kit or an umbilical cord that connects your plug here to the plug on the back of your RV. When you throw in the blinker in your RV, that signal is sent through this wire to the taillights on your Jeep. Now what the diodes are actually going to do for you, it's actually going to protect your vehicle from any feedback. What I mean by that is if your RV has an electrical issue, those diodes are going to protect the factory wiring on your Jeep from getting that feedback and causing a bigger issue, and vice versa. If the Jeep has an electrical issue, it's not going to cause an issue in the wiring in the RV. Our 6-pole plug here on the front of our vehicle is going to have a spring-loaded cap. It's going to help keep any dirt and debris from getting on any of our connections. Another nice thing about this setup is with this plug, you can set it up to accept 12-volt power. It would be set up on that center pin. Now, to utilize that function, you would have to pick up a battery charge line kit, which is sold separately but can be found on our website using part number RM-156-25. If this diode kit is used in conjunction with the braking system, it may require you to get a brake light relay. That is sold separately but can be found on our website using part number RM-88400. This diode kit is also going to come with your 8-foot flexicoil. It is going to be wired for that 12-volt power if you decide to add it on the vehicle later. As far as the installation goes, it is very simple, it's very straightforward. Somebody's going to run your wire to the back of the vehicle, to each taillight, and you're going to connect your diodes to the proper wires. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let me show you just how easy it is to put in. First thing we need to do to start our installation is our plug is going to sit right here. A wire is going to come out of the back of it. We need to figure out how we're going to run it to the back of the taillights. We can't go down underneath like this because it's open. So what I think I'm going to do is right up here behind the base plate, I'm going to drill a hole. That way when it's sitting down, the wire can run from the back of my plug here straight up through that hole, and it stays hidden. Once I get through there, this is all hollow back here, and all I have to do is find my route back to the taillights. I'm going to use a step bit. You can use a drill bit, either one. With my hole that I drilled, I'm actually going to clean it up with a snap grommet, a snap bushing grommet. Take it. I'm going to snap it right inside the hole. Next, I'm going to push my 4-pole wiring up through, back behind. Wrap it kind of like that, just to hold it in place so I don't pull more than I need. From the front, ran it through the hole. Decided to go on my passenger side. Want to stay away from anything hot or moving. I zip tied it to that hard line there. Went over the top of all this, all of my suspension and everything. Went to the outside of my frame rail right here. Now actually, you can see I went behind this ground wire and came back. What I did is I used an airline tube, but you can use wire hanger, anything that's stiff. There's a large hole in the front on the outside here of your frame, and there's another one at the other end. I ran that hard line all the way through, took my wire, taped it to it, and then pulled that line through. All my wire is on the inside of my frame rail. Comes out right here, went behind the bracket, went over the top, went behind this bracket here. You can see this bracket on the top. I ran my wire up and then took my green and brown wire, my yellow and white wire, and I split them all. You can see I took my green and brown wire, ran it over to my passenger side, yellow and white wire over to my driver's side. The green and brown wire went right over the top, This hose is connected to or zip tied to the frame or to the body. I have some existing wiring here. I ran underneath of it, went over top of my frame here, right to the outside. Now I'm going to go straight up to my tail light. The same thing I did on the passenger side, went over top of my frame rail, just like this. Now I can take these two wires and run them straight up to my driver's side tail light. Once we have our wires ran, next thing we need to do is we need to remove our tail lights. You notice we have no bolts or anything showing to remove our tail lights. We're going to take a trim panel tool, flathead screwdriver, this little panel right here on the inside, we're going to pop it off. You'll see a plastic screw right here. We'll take a T40 Torx bit. If you don't have access to a T40 Torx bit, you can also use a 10mm socket. Go ahead and remove that. Go ahead and pull it out. We'll set it aside. Then we're just going to pop our tail light out of place like that. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And we've determined through testing that our green wire is going to be our brake and turn, and our red and white wire is going to be our tail light or running light signal. Now, we have two options. Our tail lights, the wires are two different colors, coming into the plug and out of the plug to the light. We can try to splice into these if we want. I chose to do, I'm actually going to do it back here. The reason is if the tail light ever gets damaged and they have to take it off, they won't have to mess with the diodes. If I have them back here, all they got to do is unplug the light, replace the light. So now our green wire, again, we determined that that's going to be our running lights or our brake and turn, which is going to be our green wire that's coming from our diode kit that we have ran from the front. We're going to cut that wire. I'm going to strip both ends. I'm going to go ahead and double it over. I'm going to take one of my diodes. I'm going to take the connectors off, or two of them. Go ahead and connect them to my green wire. Set a little extra, cut it there. Now we're going to take the out, which is a single side. It's going to go towards the light. We're going to plug in factory wiring there. And then our green wire coming from our plug, or where our plug is going to be. It's going to be coming from our RV. So we want to look something like that. Next, we're going to do our running lights, which is going to be our brown wire. So we'll go ahead and cut our white wire with the red stripe or orange stripe. We're going to take a diode. It's going to have the yellow connector on it. We're going to take the two blue ones off and connect them to our red wire. Go ahead and connect my diode now. My brown wire, I'm going to cut it. We're going to strip both ends, or both sides that we cut. We're going to put them two together. Put on my yellow terminal. We're going to take this, we're going to put it right onto the other side. And we'll take brown wire, other side, that we cut off, and feed it back down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my diodes here. I'm going to peel off the sticky side. I'm actually going to stick them together. Just like that. Take a zip tie that comes with your kit. Go ahead and zip tie them together. Now we can reinstall our tail light. Next, we need to take our other end of our brown wire. We're going to route it across the back of our bumper and over to our driver's side. There is a couple brackets right back here that you can run it right over the top of. It'll run right along the hitch. We're going to take this and we're going to go straight up for our driver's side. We determined that the yellow wire is going to be our brake and turn signal, and this white wire with the gray stripe is going to be our running lights. So with our yellow wire, we're just going to connect the same way we did with our green one on the other side. We're on our passenger side. So our running lights is going to be the same way, except we're not going to have to double up the wires like we did on the other side, because it's going to get the signal from the other side. Just like that. Now we'll do the same thing with the other side. Stick them together. Next, our white wire. Cut it down, strip it back at our ring terminal. And we need to ground it somewhere on the body. I can go here. This is doubled up, so I know it'll hold good, which is probably a good place to go. One thing you want to make sure is that anywhere you put your self-tapping screw, you want to make sure it's metal and it's part of the body. Now we can reinstall our tail light. Next, we're going to take our plug, take the boot off, go ahead and insert the skinny side over your wires, like that. It'll actually tell you what goes where. GD's ground, LT's left turn, right turn, A is for auxiliary, TM is going to be for running lights. Now, if you're going to be putting in a charge line, now would be a good time to do it. It's going to go on that center post when you do it. Because once you put this, the wires connect all your wires, you're going to want to take some dielectric grease, go ahead and cover up all these connections, put the boot on, and then take some black electrical tape and go around the whole thing all the way up to the wire. So let's go ahead and take a small flathead or Phillips screwdriver. Don't pull these screws out all the way because you can lose them. They're very small. We're going to start with our right turn, which is our green, our left turn, which is our yellow, ground, which is going to be our white, and then finally TM, which is our running lights, going to be our brown wire. So you're going to take some dielectric grease once you get that on. You're going to put it over all those connections. Take your boot, slide it over the top. If you want to add some wire loom from here to there, and just tape from here right up over top of the wire loom. Now we'll test out our wiring using an alternate power source. This is going to simulate being hooked up to your RV. Tail lights, left turn, brake lights, right turn. We'll take our self-tapping screws. And that'll do it for a look at an installation on the Roadmaster Diode 7-wire to 6-wire flexicoil wiring kit, part number RM-15267 on our 2018 Jeep JL Wrangler Unlimited.